Hey y'all, it's your thrifty practitioner Tara. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are being met well with this video, or you are being met with this video well. Either way, guys, either way, I hope you're having a good day. I do want to say I want to thank all my new subscribers, subscribers, people just passing through. I want to thank everybody for being here to see what I have to offer. Today is my November budget, so it's a budget with me. Of course, a lot of it is already filled out because I'm not trying to make it lengthy, but we all know me. Something's going to happen. But anywho, so today's November the 1st. Guys, do not forget, just make your budget. If you don't make your budget like a couple of weeks in advance, that's well organized and all great and dandy. But, you know, a lot of us have lives, things to do. We're tired. We're scrolling. Whatever you're doing. The goal is just to make your budget. Don't get so far into the month you haven't made a budget because you can get yourself into trouble. We do know all our bills when they come out and stuff, but we also do other things. And we have other desires and impulse buys and things like that. And I'm going to tell you what, it can get us into trouble if we get too far without a budget. So I would say don't go no more than at least 2 to 3 days into the month without having your budget drawn up. You know, try to have it drawn up at least a week before. I'm going to tell you what, I'm probably going to I'm going to try that next month or this month. But personally, I just think that I have a better idea of what I need to do the next month when I'm closer to the end of the current month to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I do. I try to make up for some things, or, you know, there's something else going on and I budget for it at the last minute. I can do that. If you can't do that because of your income stream, then most definitely do it a week before. But at least don't go no more than 3 days into the month without your budget. Okay? So this is my whole month, y'all. Oh, this is my sinking funds. I had to put it on the new sheet. My old sheet was no longer relevant. So I put all my stuff on a new sheet, my month ahead. Look at that. See, guys? Y'all, write stuff everywhere from everywhere. And this is the year. Look how, this is crazy. I still have to close out my October. This is October, y'all. Well, this is September. This is October. Had to do all this stuff. Woo, Lord, y'all. So, y'all get to see that video later. But let's go ahead. We're going to get started. So now what we have is the monthly check-in. I didn't do one last month to say what goes and stuff I was going to have this month. Last month was just all, you know, anyway. It was all over the place for me. But this month I did do one. And, you know, it talks about, hey, what are you going to do to reach your goals? I didn't write my goals down overall. But when I did, I just want to consistently cash stuff my sinking funds. That's the biggest thing right now. That's my goal, is to start focusing on my sinking funds and basically high on down to low, and even a self-care one that I did. I should have put in there grow my emergency fund, but I already have that in, so I plan on doing that anyway. All right, and basically, what am I going to do? And basically, you know, A, B, C, I want to make sure that I stuff it as planned, which is what I showed you on that piece of paper earlier. That was my plan on like how much I'm going to put in each month for something. And how do I plan to do that? What do I need to do to reach my goals? Well, the first thing is I'm going to create and implement a budget. So of course, that's what I'm doing. If I create my budget and I implement it and I stick to it, I should be fine with reaching my goals for the month. In addition, track my spending and decrease my frivolous spending, which is impulse buys. So my money is appropriated correctly. You'll see when I close out the month for October, I just was all over the place. And when I don't follow my budget, I do horrible. I do real horrible, y'all. Real horrible. I still have 2 Stanley cups in a box. In a box, y'all. I have 2 of the Barbie Stanley cups in a box. And right now I'm just thinking about, I'm going to just probably resell them. The resale value of both of them is really good. So I may just end up making a profit off of it. But I wanted them at the time, and now I'm just like, why? They are still in. When I say in the box, I'm talking about the box that they were delivered in, which is sitting in my pantry area, still taped up. Original packaging, everything. That's a bad impulse buy. Anywho, so my goals, I write down my goals for next month. This month, though, still, I want to set up my 2025 budget planner. I have a lot of things. All these pages here. I printed these off of mapleplanners.com. So I'll put that below. Right now, I'm working on my own planner for myself because I have a way that I think, and I want to start utilizing that. I don't think I'm going to have it done for the new year, but I'm going to try. However, in the meantime, I'm still going to set up my 2025 budget planner. Okay. Also, next month, that's this month. Next month, I want to actually start my financial planning, work on my SMART goals and complete my worksheets. Okay. And my worksheets are just kind of like what I do like here. What's my reoccurring, whether it's, monthly, annual, if it's greater out, that way I know what I have going on, things that I can remember, because just to keep track of stuff, my sinking funds, my debt, which we don't have any, those type of things, just to make sure everything is, I have it all listed in one spot. I do like that. All right. The other thing is I want to finish all my annual challenges and no restart. All right. Continue cash stuffing according to the sheets made, which is that sheet that I showed you guys. And then the other thing, and you guys probably can't see this because it's so high up, I apologize. It's I need to start an impulse buy sinking fund. I had read that. In one of these, sorry, I'm trying not to do that sucky thing. I apologize. I had read that in an article that, what type of sinking funds people do not consider. And when I saw that and it said impulse buy, I was like, impulse buy? Well, that makes sense. Like I said, I just purchased 2 Stanley cups that are still sitting in the box. And when I think about many of my purchases, sometimes when I don't stick to my budget, they really are impulse buys of things that I'm really not going to utilize. Like yesterday, I was about to buy the Tipsy Land, which is like Candyland. And it is it's a board game, and I was going to give it to give it to my littles and a girl I used to work with because they drink. And I'm like, why are you promoting them drinking? But I just thought it was cute. I know they're going to drink anyway. Might as well have fun drinking responsibly, all this other stuff. I know people may not agree, but I'm going to tell you what, these kids are going to do what they want to do. But of course I would preach to them about it. But I just thought it was cute. I got this close, y'all, this close to buying it. And then I was like, what are you doing? Why are you, no. I was like, no. And so I deleted it out of the cart, and I just was like, yeah, no. And then I deleted it. But delete things out your cart, guys. I know you're like, I got a lot of things in my cart. No, you don't need it. Delete it. So anywho, so that's what I'm going to work on creating for 2025 is an impulse buy sinking fund. So, all right, let's get to this budget. Okay, I've done enough talking. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, God. We got into 10 minutes of talking. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, so basically I do a monthly overview, guys. In my monthly overview, what I'm doing is I'm looking at everything that's going on for the month within my account that I know of, okay? So as you see, as I move this up and down, I have my income, there's the bills, and there's the cash envelopes. Okay, over here we have debt. I don't have debt, so I'm using that for my subscriptions, sinking funds that I didn't color in, and then also my savings, okay? And so I have it color coded so that I know what income source. I know it says like budget by paycheck when you see it later, but what income source is actually going to be paying for what items, okay? I like listing my dates on here so that I have my dates, and then what is that? And that's pretty much about it. And then even over here, because I don't get a paycheck to the end of the month, this is most definitely an estimate, guys. It's a big estimate, and I don't know if that's going to be correct or not. And in addition to it being an estimate, it is also less than what I was getting before. So yeah, I put the squiggly line, that means estimate. So yeah, my income and stuff, everything's going to be like crazy different. So, all right. So what we have here is the house account. Everything in orange. The house account mainly pays for all of the utilities, okay? And then we have this, I have a car transfer I should be doing this month. I need to call the state today, and I need to discuss with the state. Let me make sure it's on there. Yeah, I need to discuss with the state of Kentucky, where my title is. You see right here, we have a $2,600 Cobra premium payment. That is our health insurance. And this is what we're paying until my insurance kicks in over at my other position. And I don't start that here until mid-month. And then it's 45 days until I actually get to start being on that insurance. I have to find out if it's 45 days or 45 working days, because there's only between 20 to 22 working days in a month. And if that's the case, then it's going to be 2.5 months, and it'll be like, say, the month after, which will be February, before I can actually start the insurance, or the insurance will start January. I hope that's so, because Open enrollment starts for my prior employer's plan, and I'm pretty sure our Cobra will go up, if anything, by $200 to $300 and be almost $3,000 come what do you call that? Come January. Okay. All right. So the mortgage, I'm not paying yet. This is still coming out of a different area. And with that said, with it coming out of a different area, it's $38.37. Everything in pink comes out of my checking account. So you see that I have the AT&T State Farm. Jake from State Farm. All right. And that's up in the bills area. Let's see. Can you guys see this down here? Yes, you can. And so then we come down here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have this HOA condo fee. Condo fees are due. I want to pay them by the end of this month, or I want to pay them within this month, but at least by the end of the month. And if that is the case, then it's $1,770 is what is owed on the condo. So that's the go. In fact, I'm more than likely going to go out to the bank today, go get all this money and go ahead and pay it. So that'll get deposited into my checking account. And that's coming out of the sinking funds, which is at FMBO. Okay, so the next thing we have is I budgeted, talked with my husband. We got to get the kids some clothing. So we got $500 for clothing and $60 for my medication. That's going to come out of the house account. Also, some more money that's going to come out of out of my sinking funds from the bank is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's $200 and $300. That's $500 in total. It's time to start buying those Christmas, not presents, gifts. I'm not gifts. What is that thing called? It's time to start buying the Christmas prizes. Hopefully, if I can do it, I'm going to show you guys. Look at this prize, man. So one of the games we plan on playing is Family Twos. I think some of y'all have seen it. It wasn't a big hit, but hey, I love it. So we'll play Family Twos, and whoever is the winner of Family Twos is going to get that gift. Haha. All right, so then we have just my cash wallet stuff that I'm going to stuff here on Sunday. Or actually, I don't know. I'm probably going to actually stuff it before that, but whatever. I only got 2 days before Sunday anyway. So it's the groceries, household gas, pets, miscellaneous, spending, dining, dating, family, G-babies, and giving. Same old stuff I have every month. The difference is, even though I budgeted for this, I'm thinking of actually funding my cash wallet with my savings challenge money from October. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so now you see the stuff that's starting to come in here, and it's in green. You're seeing the green, and that's coming out of my paycheck at the end of the month, okay? This is for my subscriptions. These things actually are going to be on my credit card. Right now, I have a zero balance on my credit card, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't worry about paying it by this day, that day, or whatever. As long as it gets paid and I don't have any fees for paying late, I'm good. So that's my thing. And right now, it's zero. So when these things pop up on my credit card between today and yesterday, it's just going to kind of roll on the 17th. And it's going to show I owe, my minimum balance I have to pay, but it'll be paid off by the end of the month. All right, so the next thing I have going are my sinking funds. For my paycheck, as you see, it's mortgage or taxes. I'm going to talk to my husband about that. I don't know. Can y'all see that? Yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to pay or I'm going to be saving for. Because I am going to go back to paying the mortgage, I am starting this month to collect and accumulate that amount in my bank account. That's the go. Now, my husband and I have been talking. He is very much an advocate of me meeting my financial goals, and he wants to split the mortgage, but we're going to talk about that because there's something else. I just want to get the house paid off. So we do have debt. I said we don't have debt earlier. We do have debt, but it's only the mortgage. I want to get the house paid off earlier. So I'm going to talk with him, and plus his dad, or his bonus dad, he has cancer, and he's not going to be around for much longer, and he has been helping him, or he wants to help him a little more in regards to financial wise. And so we'll see. It may be that I'm going to pay this whole amount now out of my check, and as y'all see, that means I'm only getting so much a month. So we'll see how things go. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, my goal is to save ahead of time for this, so that I have a cushion in my account. And I have a cushion in my account. That's the biggest thing, is having a cushion in my account. Other than that, I'm saving for 2020, the end of 2025, HOA and condo fees. I have car tags I'm saving for next year, so I'm going to get that going. My pool maintenance, my medical and script, which is a revolving sinking fund. But you know what? I still am putting the money in there. so then we have blue. I'm sorry. The blue, it comes out of my investment money, my distribution that I get. This is going to go down. More than likely, it's going to start going down in December or January. Until then, I am putting $71 into my professional development for that. That's for licenses, CEUs, things like that. Car maintenance is $72, and then my emergency fund is going to be $300 because I'm trying to get that up. So $300 a month is what I'm trying to put into my emergency fund. All right, so we come down here into savings, and we have a hodgepodge, a little bit of everything. The 529, can y'all see that? Yeah, the 520, let me come over here, sorry. The 529 is getting $400. My Schwab coming out of my checking account is $300. And then my month ahead is coming out of because it's all the stuff that's basically from, that's the house, is coming out of the house account. Okay, that leaves me between my check and my disbursement. I should have 1,045. This is where I get in trouble and do impulse buying. And that's the number that gets lower and lower and lower with the savings. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So that is my budget for the month, guys. I was going to do this, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. But I will let you guys know. I actually budget overall by income source. I don't budget by, and I'll finish adding all these up and stuff like that later on. I was going to do it on a thing on here. I apologize. I was going to do it on here, but I really just kind of want to talk about Cobra insurance too. All right. So what I do is I don't do it by paycheck unless I have a paycheck. However, I do it by income source. And what I mean by that is this is 4 different income sources, and they just go on autopilot. What that means is I'm going to fill this out, and everything that you see over here that is in these 3 colors, which is orange, pink, and red, I'm just going to plop on here. That's going to let me know these are the items. That's the amount I budgeted. And then I'll, close this out at the end of the month, or this will be end of the month. But anyway, it lets me follow what's going on during the month. There's already a cushion in these accounts. This money's actually coming over. This money's coming over too. But there's a cushion in these accounts that allow me to be able just to monitor to make sure. And plus, I'm going to be tracking my expenses anyway. So that is going to help me out as well. But because there's a cushion in those accounts, I'm able just to kind of put it on autopilot to know that, hey, for this particular income source, that is where, this is what's coming out. So these are the more variable ones, which is the paycheck and the investment, because the investment disbursement may not be this month. I don't know. We'll see. I just have to wait and see. But I know for sure in the next 2 months, it's more than likely going to go down. If not, hey, I'm lucky. However, let's see the paycheck itself. I don't know. That's really a big estimate. I don't know what it's going to be. I really just don't. So that may change a lot of this here as well. All right. And those 2 I budget by themselves. It'll be, this one will be for the investments, and this one will be for the paycheck. So that's how I do mine. I don't do mine weekly like some people do. I don't budget by week, but what I do is I budget by income source. And I do a monthly overview. I think a monthly overview is very important, not necessarily on that calendar, but in general, to where you have everything in one eye shot. So you can see exactly what you have going on for the month, in addition to the things that you want to have going on for the month, because that calendar doesn't show the wants. I'm trying to find a way to marry the two, marry this type of sheet to what I want it to be, which there are some out there, but I just don't like the design. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do it for myself that's more aesthetic to me, in addition to gives me what I need. All right, guys. So this is the end of the budgeting part of the video. If you want to stick around and you want to hear a little bit about what I got to say about what I have to say about Cobra, then hey, by all means do so. If not, I thank you for watching up to this point. As I'm going through and wrapping all this up, look at this. This is just what I'm going to use to document my expenses with. Everything I printed from Maple Planners, just a FYI. I think I said that earlier, but I just want to reiterate. This was online for free from Maple Planners, okay? If you do not have the budget to buy a pretty planner, you can go ahead and you can get these. If you do not have the budget to get a happy planner, what do you call that, hole puncher, then just get a regular hole puncher and put this in a binder, okay? You can do that. You know, you can get the cute stuff later once you get your money together. All right, so I have account 1. That's my main account. That's my main checking account. The house account, those are the two that are going to have the most activity in it. So that's why I have those first. I have an account 2. That's where my, what do you call that? My disbursement goes. So that money, once again, it has activity, just not as much. And then there's my credit card. It behooves you to make sure you document your credit card activity or any other credit type of activity during the month to where your balance fluctuates. So your credit card, if you do Klarna, if you do, what do you call that, Afterpay, all that stuff. The reason why I say that is because you get in here, you put the category, and you'll see what I do this month in that I've been wanting to do, but I put down the categories, the amount I spent for the categories, and then the percentage that was spent of my, in those categories for the month. If you do that monthly, you'll really start, I think you'll start reducing how often you use Klarna in your impulse buying, how often you're doing a lot of this stuff where you're paying it back later. It helps you. Mentally, it helps you track your frivolous spending. So I document any credit card payments. And then this month, I also am going to start doing this savings log. And this savings log is going to help me just document like when I save into savings challenges and stuff. I did put that on something else, but I'm going to really my goal there is to try and be consistent this month with that and documenting those things. All right, so let's go ahead to this Cobra payment, this Cobra situation, because some people don't understand what Cobra is. And in addition to that, people don't think about, hey, I might not have a job. What am I going to do for insurance? I was looking at a Dave Ramsey video, and he was talking about you need 3 to 6 months of, 3 to 6 months of expenses. And as I'm going through the comment, I was like, I don't know. I really don't know about that. And inflation, I hate to say it, doesn't hit me as bad as it is a lot of people. One, I'm just very cheap. Cheaper than what y'all think it may look like. I'm really cheap. But, I was looking at it and I was like, people talk about inflation, all this other stuff. And I came upon this one comment, and the guy said in there, he said that 3 to 6 months is not a good amount. He said, because it's not just inflation. There are other expenses out there that we don't think about, we incur if we don't have a job and we're trying to stay consistent with things. And so he said when he was laid off, he had the 3 to 6 months, but what he didn't have and expect was the Cobra payment to be so expensive to keep his insurance. And I understand you can go to Marketplace. Some people qualify for Medicaid. Some people don't, because if you have assets and stuff and you have money in the bank, you don't qualify. But even if you don't have a job, you don't qualify. So it's kind of like, I was like, yeah, and in our instance, we're covered because my husband has he has an emergency fund as well. We'll talk about all that later about why we have separate accounts and stuff. But he has an emergency fund as well. And right now that's where he's getting it from. Well, actually, no, it's not. He also is other things, because he's self-employed. So it's just the money's there. Well, a lot of people don't have that. And it's just something to think about going forward in the future, guys. If you work at a job and, you have all of this money so that you're not touching any of your retirement or anything, maybe you are thinking, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. I have this emergency fund, but I think I want to up it because what if I do have to pay Cobra? What if I do need to hold on to my health benefits until I find another job? So as you saw, my Cobra payment was $2,600. That's for myself, my husband, and the kids. And that allows me to have the same benefits that I had at my prior job. Okay. So what is Cobra? What is Cobra continuation health coverage? And just to FYI, this is a Q&A that I found on the U.S. Department of Labor. And so it talks about, the Employee Benefits Security Administration. There's several different departments that provide or have this information out there. But this is the best that I found for the Q&A because I feel like it does answer a couple of things. So what Cobra is itself is a Consolidation Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act health benefit provision. Okay, this was enacted in 1986 under the Reagan administration. Okay, and so then it requires group health plans to provide a temporary continuation group health coverage that otherwise might be terminated. So it allows you to have additional coverage after you don't have a job, but it's only for a specific amount of time. And so once again, what does it do? It allows continuation of coverage. Basically, that's what this is saying for you, your spouse, even your former spouse, if you're getting a divorce through this during this time, which would be like insult to injury, and your dependents, okay? So you're like, hey, are there alternatives? There are alternatives. There's the marketplace, there's Medicaid, there's Medicare. What else is there? It looks like they said in here something about a credit, but you have to go and read up on that because we don't qualify for that. I am the one, I tell you what, Marketplace, when people talk about Marketplace, they don't like the cost of Marketplace. I'm paying $2,600 for a month. Well, we're paying $2,600 a month for our Cobra insurance. I just want to let you know Marketplace is competitive. That's the price. We're paying $2,600 a month. The thing I don't like about Marketplace, because we had to have it before, is that the coverage, it's hard to get somebody, depending on the state you're in, to take Marketplace insurance. And then the coverage is, the benefits. The coverage, it just doesn't cover much for the amount of money that you pay. That's what they really need to work on. I think it was a good concept for everybody to be able to afford insurance. I just think they really need to tweak it so that there's a benefit to it. The benefits are better. So I'm the one that carries insurance, and we qualified for Cobra before, and we decided not to take it, and that's when we went to Marketplace. And that's when my husband was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do this again. And I was like, we agree. Just because of the benefits. All right, so, and we don't qualify for Medicaid because, we have assets in our income. That's basically it. We still have an income. We don't qualify for Medicaid. All right, so who is entitled to continuation coverage under Cobra? So it has to be a qualified beneficiary that had a qualified event. In order for your company to even offer it, they have to have at least 20 employees or more, and that they were covered at least 50% of the business days in the prior calendar year. And so I worked for a big company. I was going to get it. I know about Cobra. That's just it. But you have to have those qualifications. Your company might not even be able to offer it to you because you work for, a sole proprietor, or you work for a very small business and y'all just don't have 20 employees. Now, they may be covered under insurance and you may not, so you just don't get it. So also your qualifying event for me was the termination. I gave my notice. It was without any sort of, what did they call it? I'll call it foul play. So if there wasn't anything really bad, anything very egregious that occurred, then you can qualify for Cobra. And then also if there was a reduction in your hours that took you down, say, for example, it took you down and you no longer qualified for the insurance. Some places have where you can get 40 hours, 30-hour type of insurance, even 20, but some places don't. So anything under 40 hours, you don't get the insurance, but they do offer Cobra. So that's how you can qualify for Cobra in that. So once again, when I was going to MP school and finishing up getting my degree, what I did was I went PRN because it made it easier to be able to focus on that. Well, going PRN, we got offered Cobra. That's when we didn't take it and should have. But I went from full-time hours to now I work as needed or as I wanted, but usually it's as needed. All right, so it tells you how you become, and it just asks how you become eligible for coverage. There you go. Basically what I said. One of the things is it's just a time frame, and this is what kind of this is what made me nervous last month because I hadn't heard from anybody. You have 14 days to hear from to get your paperwork, but your employer has they have to report it within 30 days of the qualifying event happening. I didn't have a malicious employer. They may have been crazy at the time that we was going through whatever we was going through, but they're not malicious. So yeah, they went ahead, they reported it. When I hadn't gotten it by the 14 days, I called the HR and I said, hey, I didn't get it. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, here you go. And she sent it to me same day via email. And we went ahead, we signed up and paid for it then. In fact, when I was on vacation. So, the timing is crazy on this. And if you have some medical conditions that you need to have this coverage, and you have, what do you call that, appointments that you had scheduled that you need to make, if you have, what do you call that, medications you need to get, yeah, most definitely. If you're able to afford the coverage, then I would say, yeah, go ahead, and you're going to hurry up and you're going to bug them to get it. I just understand the importance of having the coverage. We do have a couple of things going on. We have kids going to therapy, kids going to psychiatrists, us getting medications. We have us doing, me having my appointments. And so, yeah, I want my insurance coverage. It is worth it for me. But you have to see what is worth it for you, if it's, and those are things to start actually looking at now and not later. Look at it now, not later. Okay, so another thing, I think this is the last one that I wanted to talk about. It is what benefits are covered. Basically, whatever you had is what you get to have. Okay, you get the same coverage that you had before the event. So I had a PPO, so I still have a PPO. And we also had dental, we also had vision. So we had dental, we have vision. So that made me happy. And it's real good, same copay, same everything. So we're fine with that. All right, and then the other thing is how long. How long does Cobra coverage last? 18 to 36 months. The normal person is just going to get 18 months. 36 months requires a lot of, like, maybe you have Medicare, you got a disability, those type of things, but the average person is going to get 18 months. If you are looking for a position in your same field, then I think that should allow you enough time to be able to find something somewhere. If not in the same city, you may have to consider going outside the city or something like that. So we did not budget for Cobra because we do have, well, like I said, my husband, he is a sole prop and he has his own business, so we don't have to, he's able to get the money. We don't qualify to use our HSA because there's a covered plan. So anything that we had in between that, in between the time of coverage we could use, we did use because we didn't have a plan. But as soon as this plan popped up, the HSA that we had from a rollover, we cannot utilize because it's a covered plan to pay for anything. So other than that, that's pretty much Cobra. I am going to, oh no, who pays for the coverage? There you go. That's what it was. Who pays for the coverage? You pay for the coverage. You pay for the coverage. So nobody is going to pay for that coverage, y'all, but you. Your employer doesn't pay for it. You pay for it, okay? That's why it's important to budget, to understand, to know, just to make preparations. At least if you can have 3 months worth of coverage, 3 months worth of any sort of insurance coverage if you're between jobs and one of you is the main carrier of the insurance and the other person isn't. And here we go. Last but not least, I apologize. This is just places that you can go right over here, this one here. But this one right here, it states, hey, if I don't make the premium payment on time and my coverage was canceled, what can I do? You know what? Make that payment on time. I make my payment. I have it set. It pays out at the end of the month. That's just what it does. It pays out at the end of the month, period. That's it. Pays out. It's due by the first of the month. That's it, period. These are those type of payments you don't finagle with. I'm pretty sure somewhere back off in yonder somewhere, somebody has had the ability to get their coverage back. But once the employer plans terminates you, because of non-payment, they don't have to reinstate you. And I don't think health insurance is something that, if you're able to afford Cobra and pay for it, is something that I think you should. I'm not going to risk it. I just want to make sure I have that payment. I will hustle and do everything I have to. If I got to do DoorDash, what do you call that? If Uber Eats, I don't want to drive nobody in my car because I don't want people in my car. I don't like people sitting behind me. It's just creepy. But whatever I have to do to make that payment, I would do to make that payment. I'd be on the pole somewhere. Now, y'all don't want to see me on the pole. But anyway, all right, guys. I hope you learned a little something today. And let's see. And also my budget. We'll see how I do. Let's pray for me and my budget for the end of the month, guys. My goal is to stay true to my plan so that I don't deter, because I'm about to go back to paying the mortgage and I just can't be out here willy-nilly impulse buying. All right, guys. If you like this type of content, don't forget to comment below, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notification bells, and I'll see you in my next video.